For those who fought in the Battle of Britain, it was a battle for survival. For the free world, it was a breathless moment in history. For failure would have plunged mankind into a new dark age. Never have so many owed so much to so few.
So welcome to this issue 28 of Build the Spitfire Mk1a, and in this issue we're going to be fitting the left landing gear. So the parts that we have for this week is part number 1. This is plastic. Look at that detail. That is fantastic. This is the wheel guard. That is absolutely amazing. I could stop here and it's been a good issue. So piece number 2 is the landing gear fixture, and again this is plastic. Piece number 3, a very tiny piece, the landing gear indicator. So that's quite a nice looking piece. Piece number 4 is the landing gear fixture, and I think some of these parts are very small, so I'm going to get them out with my tweezers. And there we go, that's a plastic part. Piece number 5 is another small part, that's the landing gear fixture. So another lovely part. Piece number 6 is the landing gear spring. At the moment it's in a bag, so I'm going to keep it in the bag until I need it, which means it won't focus very well. The next piece is a landing gear indicator pin, and you see there's a little pin with a burr on it. Now I've seen things like this before, especially with a Jaguar build, where you're pushing something in to hold it in, and you push it and it kind of grabs and it won't come out again. So in addition to that, we have received 5 screws, PB 2x4mm, and I've got them out ready on my little magnetic map, ready for when I need them. So the first stage, we need piece number 4, the landing gear fixture, and the piece 5, the landing gear fixture. Now we have a little round bit there that needs to go at the back, pointing upwards. Meanwhile this piece needs to go with the, I guess that's a screw hole on the left hand side, and that's going to go in like that, to create a kind of a seesaw. I think is a good way to describe that. And then on to stage number 2, step 2, sorry. And what we need to be doing is taking this pin 28/7, and we need to push that in smooth side first. So what is extremely important is we get that hole lined up, because if that hole isn't lined up properly, we will be there all day trying to push this pin in. So hopefully this spring is magnetic. Sorry, is attracted. No, it's not. Okay, but the pin is. So actually the pin being like that will help. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my tweezers, and I've still lost the piece. So what I think would be advisable here is to take a little piece of masking tape and wrap that around your tweezers. That will make the end of the tweezers soft and a little bit grippy. If this doesn't work, I will look daft. Okay, there we go. So I'm just wrapping something along there. What's happening is, because the piece is so small, the tweezers can't get a good hold on it. So I'm going to try and pick it up with this masking tape, and that's actually still not working. Right, so if anyone's got any tiny tweezers, I would suggest using those instead. Okay, not a problem. It's just that if that should spring out of there, that's such a small part, we're not going to see it again. That is 3mm in length. So what we're trying to do is we need to line this up until we can see daylight through. So is there no daylight? Daylight. And then all we need to do is place this on top. Once it's on top, see there, it's very tricky. So I wonder if we could push this in part the way through. There we go. So it's now in just a little bit, and this piece is actually a metal piece. So what I'm going to suggest, and this is a metal piece as well, so that makes our job a lot easier. So once we are confident that that's lined up properly, what we can do is we can take our long nosed pliers. I have this small set here, and what we want to do, once we are absolutely confident it's lined up, we take one end like that and we push, and that's not going to go. So I double check that I've followed the instructions, which I have. There we go. And then perhaps we can try again. There we go. So the reason it didn't work the first time was I didn't have the part lined up. And there it is. So we've got a little swivel there. So that's rather nice. So we'll pop that down for a moment because we don't need it for the next stage. Stage 3, we do however need the landing gear fixture, and we need to hold it in a position where we've got two circles at the top and the middle one at the bottom, and we are going to place the spring. See there in the middle there's a little housing. It's kind of a clip. It's not a circle, it's two sides to it. We're just going to pop that spring, and that goes in really nice actually. That's not too fiddly. And next we want the landing gear indicator, and that wants to go in like so. Okay. Right, okay. I can see where I've gone. We're actually going to push that indicator through. You see, like that. So it's actually going to be poking out on the other side. Okay, so the next step, step 4, we need to go back to our assembly from stage 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to, this little fork bit there, we need to slip that underneath, sorry, through the landing gear indicator, and then we just want to drop this piece so that what we suspected was a screw hole will line up with that screw hole there. Okay, and then the next stage we want to take a 2x4mm PB screw, and we're just going to screw that down. So this is really nice. I've seen two very small pieces and I thought, oh god, here we go, it's going to be fiddly. So what's obviously going to happen is when the wheels are up, it's going to push this, and then when the wheels go down, so that, I guess that's going to tell us that the wheels are down or up or whatever position, and that's why we've got the split in the housing there, and that spring's obviously not going to come out now because it's screwed in. And I think I'll just tighten that up slightly more. Okay, and that's that stage done. So for the next stage we actually need to bring in the wing from issue 26, and we need to bring in the wheel from stage 27, so I will see you shortly. So I don't know about you guys, but obviously if you're a subscriber you will probably get 4 issues all in one go, and you will sit there and you'll do all 4 issues. which then means you have nothing to do for 4 weeks, and that's a lot of opportunity for your wings to get broken. So I kept mine in the bubble wrap that it came in, because I didn't know how long we'd be needing it for, but here it is, we need it in the next week. So we need to drop this wheel into this wheel section here, and then we're going to be resting it on there, I think. Yes. So with the Dunlop side out towards the the tip of the wing, we're going to pop that through this big hole because it's not going to fit there, and then we're just going to bring it in like so, and you see there that it just rests. Let me just change my camera view. So as you see how it's just rocking on there. So right, we also need to line up this spring, so that needs to go in a very specific place by the looks of it. Okay, so right, so as you bring this up, you see the bottom of the spring there, that needs to rest on that plastic part. So I'm actually moving the wing as close to the middle as I can, and then I will push this into place, and then I will let this swing back. So it's at the moment it's trying to push the wheel all the way into the middle. Okay, and then we need to identify the fixing points. I'm actually having to hold this wheel down, so we need to identify the 3 fixing points, which are there, there and there. And then what we will do is we will bring this landing gear in. I've got to think about this one for a moment. There we go, that's going to go in. So this is actually quite a complicated part. It's getting everything lined up properly. And there. So I'm not sure how this is going to work, because this is going to be the inside of the wing, but if I've logged it, if I've popped it in properly, you see that the landing gear wants to come out because the spring is pushing it outwards. But also when the wheel comes all the way up, do you see that that red tab disappears? That's because it's on a little rocker. Okay, so once you know that that's how it's gone and it's all going okay, keep your thumb on it, and then we can start to screw that down with 3 PB 2x4mm screws, which is the same one as we used earlier on. And I'm not going to let go until I've got all 3 screws in fairly tight. I'm not going to screw them in really tight, just in case I need to undo them. If anything in here slips, I may need to redo this. So normally I put the first couple of screws in just enough to bite. In this particular instance, I'm putting them almost fully in. It is a risk I take, but I don't want to let go of this. So that one's now in pretty nearly full. Okay, and now I can let go of this, and there we go. So I think it just got caught on something. But if you look there, you can see the little flag, and then as I bring the wheel up, you see the flag goes down, and then the wheel, even if I hold it against gravity. You see that it's trying to push it up. So the wheel is naturally trying to come down. So obviously there's going to be something going in, maybe there, maybe a servo, and that will, let me use my tweezers. So that will pull the wheel up, and then once it's reached its top position, the little tab comes in and there's a little Dunlop. So I'm really happy with that. So that leaves us with one more thing to do, and that is step 11, and that's to take this piece number 2, the landing gear strut, and this is a push fit connection, and that's, if you can see, 2 little lugs there, and one is a little bit bigger than the other, and you can see 2 holes there. Being very careful, that's going to go on there. And it actually isn't a push fit connection. It does ask us to super glue it in place. However, mine is rather a snug fit, so I'm actually not going to glue it in place. If I feel it's starting to come off, then I will actually glue it in place. So there you go, guys. That is issue 28 done, and we've got a little bit of wheel action going on there, and I'm really happy with that. I'm guessing that will poke out through the skin once the top of the wing is on, so that when the pilot is in the cockpit, obviously he can't, because he's sitting over the wheels which are underneath the wings, he can't see the wheels. So there's just a little indicator there, so all he has to do is look out to the left, and I'm going to guess there's going to be one on this side, I don't know. But you can have a little look on the wing. Yep, the wheels are down, it's safe to land. So how good is that, guys? I am really, really happy with this week's issue. Okay, guys, so I'm going to put it away, and I'm going to leave it, and then I will see you in the next video. So take care, guys.